Hello and Namaste. My name is Mr. Gautam Behra, and today I'll be talking about the requirements of an electrolyte for electrolysis, and I will tell you about the Faraday first law of electrolysis. So what is the requirement for an electrolyte during electrolysis? The first requirement is, but before moving into that, let me clear you something. During electrolysis, the electrolyte may be only present there, which will undergo dissociation to generate cations and anions. But in other situations, it may be like that a particular solute will be kept in the soluble form inside the electrolyte. So where the solute will undergo dissociation during electrolysis. That means by passing DC current, the solute undergo dissociation, but the solvent, that is the electrolyte, will not undergo dissociation. So these are the two situations. Okay. So now what is the requirement? The first requirement for electrolysis, the electrolyte must dissociate completely to generate large number of cations and anions to give high conductivity. And the second one is uh, electrical conduction, or electrical conduction through the electrolyte must be carried out by the movement of ions only. And the third one, the electrolyte must be stable at the operating temperature, because in some electrowinning process the metal is extracted at high temperature like 1000 degrees centigrade. In case of aluminum extraction, that is 950 to 1000 degrees centigrade. So in that condition the electrolyte must be stable. It must be stable means it should not dissociate to generate ions, or it may not get vaporized, so that it will remove from the reactor, or that is from the electrolytic cell, or it should not it should be basically stable, right? And the last point is, it should be inert. The electrolyte we are going to use must be inert. Inert means it should not react with the electrolytic vessel, it should not react with the electrodes, that is cathode and anode, and finally it should not react with the electrolysis products. That means it should not react with the metals which is getting generated during electrolysis, right? So these are the main requirement of an electrolyte for electrolysis. Next, we'll discuss about the Faraday laws of electrolysis, right? So Michael Faraday developed some laws which is applicable for the electrolysis. These laws are basically concerned with the yield, or that is concerned with the amount of metal production due to electrolysis, or due to electrometallurgy basically. So so in this video I will discuss about the first law of electrolysis, and I will tell you about the mathematical expressions, and we will discuss about the electrochemical equivalent also. Let's go and have a check. So this is, I think this is visible. This is the first law of electrolysis. According to first law of electrolysis, the amount of metal deposited or the amount of metal liberated at the electrode during electrolysis is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through the electrolyte. So M is the amount of metal deposited or liberated at the electrode, and Q is the quantity of electricity. So this is quantity of electricity is nothing but the charge, right? Q. So that is denoted by Q. So we can also write like this. So quantity of metal deposited or liberated at electrode is proportional to I into T, where I is the current and T is the time. So finally the expression is like this: quantity of metal deposited is equal to Z into I into T, where Z is the proportionality constant, that is nothing but electrochemical equivalent, right? So suppose somebody asks you what is electrochemical equivalent. So electrochemical equivalent, you can understand, when I become 1 and T become 1, that means when 1 ampere of current and will be passed through the electrolyte for 1 second, so the quantity of metal deposited will be equal to Z, that is equal to the electrochemical equivalent. So we can say when 1 coulomb of charge is passed through the electrolyte, and the quantity of metal deposited will be equal to Z. So that is electrochemical equivalent. So we can define like this: number of gram of substance deposited or liberated when 1 coulomb of electricity is passed, or when 1 ampere current is passed for 1 second. Thank you.